up, guys? Mitch Raposo, 3-0, fighting January 25th, Plymouth Memorial Hall.
All right, my man, here we are. First card of 2020, CAGE Titans. How you feeling, brother?
I'm feeling good, man. Dialed in, you know, a couple days out, sucking weight, but feeling great. I can't wait.
Biggest card of CAGE Titans history right here.
Yeah.
First card of the year. How important is this card, and how important is it for you to really put on a show here, your fourth fight?
I'm looking at the main card. You know, there's like 8 prospects. We're all fighting kind of nationally ranked guys, and the way I see it, it's like a little competition to see who's the next guy. You know what I mean? And I like that. So, I think there's gonna be more eyes, and I think that's the best of me is gonna come out. So I'm happy about that.
Well, you've had eyes on you your whole career from Miami to now. Does it get more exciting as it goes because the eyes are growing, and you invite that? Is it something that you've been cherishing and just absorbing?
Yeah, like I said, it's like this fight, right? It's like I just feel like I don't know, the way my career is going is just a lot different. My career is going the way you see like the 21, 22, 23-year-old kids in the UFC shining. Like that's the type where my path's going, right? So it's like this type of fight, probably a 5-0, 6-0 guy would probably take, you know what I mean? But I only got 3 fights, but that's a normal prospect. I mean, I'm not a normal prospect, and I'm gonna prove it Saturday night.
Well, there's been high hopes on you since you started this amateur and pro career here in MMA. You started as a young kid, you know, in the martial arts, man. Now it's coming full circle. Where is Mitch now compared to where he was that first professional fight? Like, where is your head and the body as well?
I mean, I always say 2019 was kind of a growth year for me. You know what I mean? And that's kind of the way I see it, and I've matured a lot. And now you sit out and see me in the cage, I'm fighting to my ability. You know what I mean? I have the experience. Now I'm going out there and I'm taking these guys out the way I'm supposed to. I'm proving that I'm UFC level. You know what I mean? And these guys, they're not UFC level guys, so there's no excuse to lose to someone you're better than, right? And if I belong in the UFC, that's a legit thing. And I'm looking at this like a little test. You know what I mean? The last one was a test. This one's a test. You know what I mean? And that's it. I mean, I'm gonna pass both of them. I'm gonna pass the last one, pass this one, UFC.
Well, the progression in your career, it's going up. In the beginning of the career, start off with a lesser opponent, and you build yourself up. Your last fight was that opponent that, was the guy that was gonna kind of shut things.
Yeah, for sure.
People that doubt. What did that fight, and what do you think that did for them? Is there still some of that doubt on Mitch that you still haven't fought the guys that really tested you? Yeah, for sure. But the more if I don't get the credit for the last one, it's more because of the way I handled it, right? Like, he fought Duma, he's fought Andy Aiello, and he gave them both pretty tough fights. I had a very short fight with him, you know what I mean? And I didn't get hit. I think I lit him up like 3 times, and I finished him. You know what I mean? And before that, like a lot of guys, they be fighting bums until they're like 4 or 5-0, and they're still fighting bums. You know what I mean? After 2 fights, and it's like even the second fight. I mean, Giannis has fought everybody around here. You know what I mean? So it's like, the way I see it, Fuller, yeah, okay. Giannis, dude, this guy got 20 pro fights. Maybe not the best record, 20 pro fights. This was my second pro fight. Minute. Burhands, my first real test, went out there, minute. And this guy, you know what I mean? I'm sure he'll last over a minute because he's durable. Could be a decision, I don't know. But I'm going to go out there, I'm going to dominate this guy, and I'm going to shine big again. You know what I mean? That's it. These 3 fights, that last one, it looked like, the Mitch gained a lot of tools in that training camp. I mean, we've seen it in the past, your movement. But that fight, that last fight, not only was your movement outstanding, you were having fun in there.
Yeah.
Like, it looked like you controlled, and you looked like you were basically playing a video game. You knew exactly when to strike, and when you did, you took out guys. It was your first knockout, your first, real lights out, no doubt, you're done. How'd that feel? And how happy were you in that cage at that time?
I felt good, man. Like, I felt like normal. I felt like sparring. You know what I mean? I'm going out there, and that's exactly what it feels like now, and that's how it should feel. You know what I mean? Every guy's different. Some guys go in there angry. Some guys kind of go in there, you know what I mean, a little too, excited. I go in there calm, you know what I mean? I just kind of flow and do my thing, and I just realized I can touch these guys, and they can't touch me. You know what I mean? And that's a recipe for success.
Well, here we are, your 4th fight, and your biggest test.
Yeah.
This guy, big winning record, a veteran. He's fought a long time.
Yeah.
He's got a pretty good winning streak. A late kind of replacement opponent, but a better opponent. How psyched are you to have another guy come in here who is better than the last guy, who could possibly shut everyone out and get bigger eyes on you leading into 2020?
That's why the way I wanted to fight. So, I mean, I went through 3 guys, and I was like, we had some options to fight. I obviously told my coaches, they're like, oh, who would you rather fight? There was like 3 names, and I was like, I don't care. I'm going to smoke every single one of them. But I love this fight. You know what I mean? It's the way I see it. The UFC could say that, hey, he's only 4-0 after I win this fight. He's only 4-0. Because I was going to fight a guy who I think it was like 4-2, then a guy who was like a 6-0 ambi making his pro debut. And that was going to be another minute or 2 finish. I know it was. And I think this guy, I'm more than capable of finishing him for sure, obviously. And I'm gonna. But the way I see it, it's going to show the UFC I'm ready. Like, it's like, this kid has 4 fights, but he just beat a guy that this kid's fought and this kid's fought. Like, he's fought really good competition, really good prospects across the country, but he loses to them, but he still fights them. You know what I mean? And he beats the journeyman. He beats the guys who are 7-5 or 6-6. He beats those guys, and then I beats him up. So it's like he's a solid fighter, but he's no test. I need to win this fight. You know what I mean? I'm gonna win this fight because at the end of the day, I'm UFC ready. So this fight, there's no excuse. Go out there, beat this kid, and prove that I'm ready for the UFC.
There's no doubt about your confidence. You know, you've spoken about you're going to be a world champion someday. As far as, you know, getting ready for this camp, it's your 4th camp. You train with the best in New England. Anything you add into this, any new training partners? Is there anything that Mitch has been adding to this training camp? Because you're still a young guy.
Yeah.
You're still developing little things, learning new tools in the game. Anything else? Anything you've added to this training camp?
This camp, me and Tateki, he's in the main event. He's fighting Ken Moy. You know what I mean? And 2-time UFC vet. He's fought in the Ultimate Fighter. He's fought in Japan. Like, we're talking, Tateki is solid, man. And I know if Tateki went out there and fought my guy, I think Tateki would smoke him, right? And that's the guy I'm working with. Like, me and him have been having some killer rounds, every Saturday at Lozon's. Like, he had an interview and he said it. He was like, if you guys want to watch a real Cage Titans main event, go to Lozon's on Saturday and watch me and Mitch spar. It's like, it's fireworks, because it really is. And that's the guy my last 4 or 5 sparring sessions has been with him, and we've been going at it. And we're both just so sharp. We're both ready. So I feel like having him in my camp has been a huge, like, just for my confidence. Like, man, there's no reason why I don't go out there and smoke this kid. I can starch him, dominate him, whatever. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to win this fight. You know what I mean? I'm going to win this fight big.
Well, how's it feel to be back at Cage Titans? First, you know, biggest card here. We've talked in the past how special it is to fight there and how, you know, amazing an experience it is. Now you're a veteran there, buddy. You've been, you know, held a belt. 4th fight as a pro there. How you feeling about stepping back into Cage Titans and fighting this dude with some of them eyes on you that have doubt on you, that you can shut them up in that right there?
Yeah. The guys who have doubt, though, I mean, at the end of the day, they're always going to have doubt. You can't please everybody. And it's just more just for myself, right? It's going to be that confidence when I go out there and take out a guy with 20 pro fights who's fought all the top prospects across the country. And that's my kind of measuring stick. I'm going to see how I do with him compared to other guys. You know what I mean? And I'm going to look more impressive than they are, and that's big for me. I don't do this for anybody else. I do this for myself, and it's going to mean a lot to me when I beat this kid. And I'm just super stoked. I've been training my ass off, and I'm going to go out there and make a statement. I mean, high pressure. At the end of the day, pressure makes diamonds, and I'm going to shine big.
Well, there's been a lot of talk. We talked about how many amazing fights are on this card.
Yeah.
U.S. caliber, former UFC fighters as your training partner there. Some fighters on this card will not be back at Cage Titans this year. They're going to be going to the Contender Series. They're going to be going to the UFC. Great call up to Bellator, other chances. And that's, you know, Cage Titans wants that. They want their fighters. Where do you think you're going to be? I mean, we've spoken about, you know, the future. You're going to be in the UFC. It seems like the plan's getting closer than it was later. It seems like, you know, it could be this year. How close are you, and how many fights you think you need to get to the Contender Series or the UFC? Do you think this is the fight, or do you think you need another one after this?
That's why I wanted this fight, because I might need another one after I beat this kid, but I think the chances are, hey, I was short notice. I'm not going to make Mike chase around and go find me an 0-6 guy, like a lot of guys would do. They'd be scared to take a tougher fight on short notice. They'd be scared. I'm not. You know what I mean? I have that. You can't shake that confidence, man. You just can't. Obviously, don't be stupid, taking stupid fights, but it's not a stupid fight. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, I am one fight away. When I go out there and I beat this kid, I'm going to prove to the UFC that I'm ready. You know what I mean? And I'm ready for the next level, and that's what matters. That's why I took the fight, and that's why I'm so excited for this fight. I cannot wait.
Well, last thing before I ask you for shout-outs and stuff like that, what's your prediction? What are you looking to do? What does Mitch need to do in there, and what are you going to do in there to get to that level, that next level?
This guy's durable. You know, he's a durable guy, and I'm not putting too much pressure on myself to finish, because at the end of the day, if you do that, it's not, you don't want to go in there and think something's going to be easy, and you go in there and it's a little different. You know what I mean? Like, I think this guy's kind of, I feel like he's underestimated me a little bit. The last two, I'm not 2-0, but the last guys were very inexperienced like me. He went out there and smoked them, but those guys were not even on the same planet as me. You know what I mean? And it's understandable. I don't have a lot of fights, but he doesn't see me at Lozon's going with guys like Tateki Matsuda, Rob Font, Calvin Cater, Randy Costa. So at the end of the day, the way really I see it, the fight is, I go out there and I see, like, I put my skills to the test, right? I go out there, it's like sparring at Lozon's. If this guy showed up at Lozon's, I'd smoke him. So it's not going to be, I get to do it in front of my friends and family now. That's the way I see it, you know what I mean? And that's something to look forward to. So that's really what it is to me, and to go out there, if I get a finish, cool. I go out there and I dominate this guy for 3 rounds, cool. Yeah, it says the same thing to me. Go out there, get some cage time, early finish or not, get the W, move on. Huge shout out to my team, Regiment Training Center. I've been here since I was young, and they're always getting me ready for these fights, and each time I'm going out there and I'm repping the Regiment Boys banner, and Saturday night's going to be no different. Infinite Fitness, of course, my strength and conditioning, Top Game Management, Tyson Chartier. He's the guy, he's getting me here, he's getting to the UFC, he's getting me in these opportunities, and at the end of the day, I'm obviously, of course, grateful to him, and I have a great team around me. Friends and family, they're coming out. It's going to be a good night at North Memorial Hall, January 25th. Social media, _Raposo for Twitter, Instagram, Mitch Raposo _, Facebook, Mitch Raposo. I should probably change those for the same thing, but Saturday night, man, can't wait.